friends, I'm Akash, and this is your News of the Week for the week of November 28th to December 4th, 2021. I'm Akash Cody, and let's begin right into the news. We begin with Omicron, the brand new variant of COVID-19 that started in the country of Botswana down in southern Africa, has spread to not only 7 countries around that area, but now across the world. Over 10 states have cases that are identified to be Omicron, and same with several other countries throughout Europe. This is a major event right now, and hopefully the spread of Omicron doesn't grow too far, but with its leap in COVID-19 virus variant technology, if you will, it will be very, very difficult to get things going. But hopefully things are going to return to normal. Now, as we keep going to take a look at some of the other stories for you this week, we have the fact that the first female prime minister of Sweden, who literally resigned hours after being elected, has officially been re-elected again. This is Magdalena Andersson, the first female prime minister of Sweden, breaking records for the country. And although having just resigned due to Swedish tradition, and I'll get to why that is in a moment, just hours after having been elected by the Swedish parliament, Riksdag, she was elected again a few days ago, and now she is serving the country of Sweden as its first female prime minister, which is absolutely remarkable. So let's get into the further details about each of these stories, and we begin with Omicron. Now, the Omicron variant of COVID-19 was first identified in Botswana, and currently it's spread to 7 countries in southern Africa. These countries are Botswana, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Malawi, Eswatini, and Lesotho. So these are the 7 countries that Omicron has spread to, at least until, well, a few days ago. And the reason why I'm saying this is because ever since then, it has spread around the world. Like, I'm talking, many countries got it, UK, France, Germany, all these countries. But the country that had the most of these cases outside of the 7 countries in southern Africa, which pretty much got a 4th COVID-19 wave because of Omicron, the next biggest country to get this is America. The United States has seen like 4 or 5 cases in New York alone, and there have been cases reported in over 10 states in America. And so the situation like this is quite devastating, and although the numbers may seem low now, if we don't take major actions, not just travel bans and whatnot, which is what the Biden administration is planning to do, not just that, but if we implement real restrictions and ways to reduce the spread of Omicron and COVID-19 in general, then we can keep those numbers low, if not eventually 0, because that's what we want. A world without COVID-19, which is meant to pretty much end up uniting the whole world into one cause against one virus. But then again, this is what's going on with Omicron right now. It's a major thing that's going on throughout the world. We've seen so many different cases of Omicron, and now things are going along like this, and it's going to be interesting to see what goes on with the rest of it. And now, as things are going on right now, we're seeing Omicron traveling out through the rest of the world. President Biden's implementing various policies like a COVID-19 temporary travel ban to the 7 countries I mentioned earlier in southern Africa. But then again, even if the EU, I believe, has done this as well, and the UK, many countries have gone for the travel bans, it still doesn't seem to be enough. So we need to have domestic restrictions in the countries to help stop the spread of COVID-19 and Omicron, which seems to have a big leap in variant technology as the situations are going. So Omicron is very dangerous, so make sure to protect yourself in as many ways as possible from this virus. It is becoming slowly more devastating as time goes on, and we need to defend ourselves from it to prevent anything worse from happening. So that's what's going on with Omicron. So let's take a look at our next story of the week, which is the first female prime minister of Sweden who resigned hours after election. Magdalena Andersson has been re-elected as the first female prime minister of Sweden by the Swedish parliament, Riksdag. Now, here's pretty much what happened. On November 24th, the Social Democratic Party, who are coalitioning with the Greens, now this party is led by Magdalena Andersson, and so as Andersson leads the Social Democratic Party of Sweden, who are coalitioning with the Greens for the election, they managed to win. The Riksdag officially elects Andersson and co. into the office of Prime Minister, breaking records as Sweden becomes the last country in the Scandinavian region to elect a female Prime Minister. This is groundbreaking, and it really was until a few hours later, because by this time, the Social Democrats and the Greens have created a budget bill together, as you normally would, and eventually it gets passed in, and the Riksdag takes a look at it, one look and goes, no, I'm not having that. So they threw it out, they threw right out, got defeated, the opposition budget bill passed. And then the Green Party, who really hate the Swedish Democrats, which is another one of the parties who created the opposition budget bill, and they're like, we refuse to serve under a budget bill that is led by the opposing party who we absolutely despise. So we are leaving the coalition, and we refuse to do this until the budget bill that we made passes. And, well, their budget bill didn't pass, so the Greens left the coalition. And in the case of Swedish tradition, which is where if any member of the coalition leaves the coalition, then the leader of the whole thing has to resign. And because usually this is like two parties that are coalitioning, so if one party resigns from the coalition, then they won't have any more majority, so like it's kind of useless, isn't it? So because of that, Magdalena Andersson, in accordance with Swedish tradition and politics, officially announced that she would be resigning from the position of Prime Minister. Now, this is some very interesting news when it came out, but the good thing is that there are re-elections, and they were on November 29th, and in this case, Magdalena Andersson announced she would be running with the Social Democrats' single-party government instead of the coalition with the Greens. And so, eventually, on November 29, 2021, the Riksdag, Swedish parliament, officially re-elected Magdalena Andersson, who is now officially the first female prime minister of Sweden, breaking records. So that is what's going on with Sweden. Now she serves as prime minister of Sweden, and that is all of your news of the week for the week of November 28 to December 4, 2021. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon in another News of the Week. Goodbye.